This is a Glass Box Media podcast.
We're moving in a new direction, moving forward, and moving beyond smoking. We are Altria, and our companies are leading the way in moving adult smokers away from cigarettes by taking action to transition millions toward potentially less harmful choices. As we move from being known as a tobacco company to being recognized as a tobacco harm reduction company, Altria is moving beyond smoking. Find out how at altria.com.
Hi, guys.
We're talking about you.
Oh, my gosh.
All three of us have watched you.
Shook.
If you guys have not seen you on Netflix, this was something I didn't realize either. It was a Lifetime show.
Right? What?
Yeah, it was a Lifetime show that didn't do well on Lifetime. That went on to Netflix and blew the fuck up.
That's
also a really amazing, I guess, book series from what I've heard called Hidden Bodies.
Right. Yeah, You was the first one. Hidden Bodies is the second one. So there is going to be a season 2.
That's crazy.
Of You. Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
that show is bananas.
That's a Crazy in Love.
Not gonna
for
lie.
Sure.
I think the thing I took away about it is I need to take a look at my preferences because
oh God, all of my shit is out in the open. All of it is.
Well, not just that. Yeah, I would be completely easy for a Joe to find, but then I was like, why am I so attracted?
Oh,
to
you
him?
don't mean online preferences. You mean your
dating preferences.
Dating preferences.
Where I'm just I kind of don't mind him at all, even though he's a fucking murderer.
You and Anthony.
The problem is they do make him super. The problem is that you're in his mind, right? So he's narrating the craziest, stuff that's happening, and you're like, so you can it makes it relatable,
right?
So you're looking at this guy who's in every case in no way good for anyone, but you're looking at it well, I can see where he's coming from. Peach is the worst.
Is she?
Well,
she's the fucking worst.
I think
Does she deserve to die? What is wrong with me?
Oh, spoiler alert.
Oh, yeah, sorry. Sorry, guys.
Yeah, we might have to edit that out. But I think that the brilliant thing about the show is that he's the protagonist. It's very clear that he's the protagonist, and he's sympathetic in every way.
Right.
And when he's not doing all the crazy stuff he does in secret, which is the only, no one else in the show knows he does that stuff.
Right.
So whenever he's interacting with other characters, he does seem like a really nice guy.
Right.
Which I think is brilliant because that's how people end up in relationships like that.
Yes.
No one comes out the gate being like, I'm a scary stalker killer.
Yeah.
Serial killer.
Yeah.
Dude, I had the spiciest armpits ever when when Dude Face came and brought the book back and told Beck where the hiding place was, and she went to the bathroom, and I was like, I literally
no. Yes.
Because I did. I was like, I realized in that moment, I'm like, I
Not a
want
happy
him
ending.
to get away with it.
Yeah.
I don't want her to find out.
Yeah.
But you knew
things
she
are
had
good
to.
right now.
It's that Dexter thing, right? Where you're just you're rooting for Dexter. I mean, at least he killed in a vigilante way where he was killing fucking terrible people, but he's still a killer.
Well, and also, can we just address that even if Joe never killed anyone, which, spoiler alert, he does,
Right.
even if he had never killed anybody, the rest of his behavior is so fucked up, so massively toxic and fucked up. And Penn Badgley, who's the actor in that, there were so many people on Twitter being like, I would let Joe kidnap me anytime. But his response to it was so great and spot on, and he was totally like, no, that's the exact opposite reaction that you should be having to this character.
Right.
This character is highly toxic. If your relationship looks like this,
get the fuck out.
It's a dangerous relationship, so he had a really good response to it.
That face.
Oh, so those cheekbones. I like a man with cheekbones that could cut butter.
Weird. It's hard for me because I don't necessarily think Penn Badgley's super cute.
Oh,
but
I think he's so hot.
He is.
Yeah.
there's something, right?
Yeah.
Like there's something.
Yeah.
I'm on that train.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean,
I'm the conductor of that train.
Choo.
Exactly.
It's the the fall effect where you're like,
yeah,
because Jamie Dornan in the fall, I don't give a fuck about him in 50 Shades, but in the fall, I'm like, ooh, you so hot, and like he is like, the worst person.
Is the worst person.
Yes.
Yeah. Oh, but yeah, same. I was like, I'm all about that. Yeah. And so then when I heard that he was 50 Shades dude, I was like, yeah.
But then he shaved and you're like, meh.
And I was like, when I saw him in the 50 Shades thing, I was like, nah.
Not as cute. You
Should
need
have
a
been
beard.
Charlie Hunnam. Yeah,
Hunnam.
or however you say his name.
He's my birthday twin.
Oh, really?
My God.
Did you watch Sons of Anarchy?
Yes, I did.
Another group of men whose behavior is highly problematic. But
I never watched that show. And I heard it's fucking amazing.
I liked it a lot. But it's definitely, we're in an age of anti-heroes.
Yes.
And it's definitely that. It's like all of their behavior is fucked up. And yet you're still like, Charlie Hunnam's so hot,
Which is why, can we talk about how amazing that Gillette commercial is?
So
in
good.
An age of anti-heroes and problematic behavior and toxic masculinity. We've got that fucking commercial where I was like, legit teared up.
Yes.
It was
really, really incredible.
Listen, like,
really,
none of
really
us
cool.
are blind to the fact, like, we all know how capitalism works and how corporations work. And
Right.
Because this is the thing that gets thrown out is like, they're doing this for money and like they don't really, you know what?
No,
fine.
every commercial's
we get
for
it.
money.
That's what corporations do. That's how capitalism works. Like, we understand that. But it's still a positive message to be seen on this kind of like, grand scale.
And good. Here's my money.
Yeah.
Good. I would rather give it to somebody that's putting that message out into the world versus other bullshit that is bombarded in our face.
Right.
Every
At least
day.
it's not, like Paris Hilton eating a Carl's
Cheeseburger.
Jr. burger with like sauce all over her tits, like
yeah. No, it's
and
totally...
no shade on Paris, okay?
No, not at all.
No, she's Queen Bee. But you spit out. She is, dude. She is.
No, I know. I have no problem with Paris Hilton, to be honest.
When you talk about branding and marketing and the Instagram culture that we have today, it all comes from like Paris was the first one to do
really
love it or hate it.
Love it or hate it. Mm-hmm. She was smart enough to figure it out before anyone else. So I give her much props. People want to act like she's like a dumb blonde or something. I'm like, that bitch is smart.
Exactly.
Real smart.
Yeah.
And
I give her credit.
She counts on you underestimating her.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, definitely. That's been her brand, is you underestimating her.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
And you know what? She's owning that marketplace.
Yep.
Whatever works for you, works for you. Listen, I can't hate. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm constantly shifting money from my savings account into my checking account so I can like do stuff. So who am I to talk? Who am I to talk about anybody else?
Yeah, Paris, you got it.
No. I told you guys I just watched the Fire Festival doc last night. Speaking of like Instagram culture, or
I really want to see that.
I do too.
Influencers, which is must be like I think one of my top 5 like least favorite words.
Influencer,
sure, but also low key would be one in a heartbeat. Sure, in a fucking heartbeat.
I'd take the influencer money.
Yeah, if I'll be a social media like whatever creator, content creator, fine. Like fine. Yeah. If you want to watch me put my makeup on and drink coffee every day, and you're going to pay me like tons and tons of money to do it,
I'll take your money.
Fine. Absolutely fine.
We've already said I'm not above doing a lot of weird things for money. So
yeah, and watching me put my makeup on would be the best of those things.
Aren't you guys
can do it anyway?
Yeah.
So mad that like that you didn't see that happening.
Oh, I'm furious because I was early teens when YouTube, or like preteen when YouTube was becoming a thing.
Right.
And if I had started a YouTube channel when I was 13, millionaire.
Yeah.
Like automatic millionaire by now.
Right.
Seriously.
Yeah. Right.
Like, because that's how it worked back then. It's so much harder to like break into that
right.
industry at this
you
point.
You had to have done it first.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I'm the worst at like trends and stuff now. I have no idea what the next like curve is going to be.
Could it be podcasting?
Well, what else do we have to talk about?
Oh, Jeff Bezos is getting $1 billion out of the board.
Can you talk about how that chick is like good? I don't have to live with that weird bald guy anymore, and I get $69 billion.
She's going to automatically become the richest woman in the world from this divorce.
But can we talk about how the fact that she had to be married to Jeff fucking Bezos, who's, in my eyes,
that's a choice. That's a choice. Ugh, there are grosser people to be married to, but
I'm not talking even about physical appearances. But when you like break down like what Amazon is and his goals for it, it's like it's icky.
But that's all those people. Like that's icky. All those people.
Yeah,
like, all of those people are like that. You know, I just listened to the 3-parter on Mark Zuckerberg on Behind the Bastards.
Yes.
So it's like, you know, all of these people are the grossest people you will. That's how you become successful in a big part.
We gotta get grosser then.
If you're married, if you're married to somebody like that, I kind of have to feel like you don't have to see them that often because they're always working.
Gone. Yeah, they're always gone.
So like. Yeah, I mean,
you're reaping the benefits.
Cash your check, girl.
Yeah, and apparently it's not a contentious divorce. It's like
it seems very amicable.
It's amicable. He's like, go ahead and take my money, which is usually people like that, even if they are billionaires, are still stingy.
California, I think it's
Lord,
a pretty.
You're still left with so many billions. Like your great grandkids are still going to be spending that money
on
you know
Mars.
What I mean?
They're going to be spending that money
on Mars.
On Mars.
Yeah, because you know all these rich people have an exit plan. The planet is dying. They're gone.
Oh my God, there's a post that I saw today on Who Do I Have to Kill to Get a Date, that Facebook group I was telling you about, where somebody posted like a fucking Bumble message that was like, I'm really looking for a group of women to spend my money and to like demean me and literally
Cassie's like side gig
of comments, and I just went, go on. Where he's like I want you to give me your bills. I want to you to make me pay for expensive dinners and stuff. And I mean, everybody, we're like,
it's a financial, it's a financial sub.
Yeah, for real.
Like that is a thing that exists. Yeah,
I'm like, how are you still on Bumble? How have you not been snatched up by like 200 women who are
that
just
makes me suspicious. Like I'm suspect of that now because I'm like, if
you're
on
he
Bumble,
also said like no sexual contact. I just really want somebody to be mean to me and to take money from me.
Listen, that's not
I'm an Aries. I feel like I'm fully equipped for this job.
I was going to say that's not in my nature, but for you, I'll get mean. I'll get mean real fast.
I mean, it sounds like a real piece of shit.
Exactly. There you go.
See? Already good at this.
I know. But yeah, I was just like, wow.
I'd even step on his balls if he wanted.
I know.
In high heels.
I'm here for it. I'll do it.
He wants to be dominated. He wants to be.
Oh, I feel like I am cut for this position.
But yeah, I mean,
like, can you send me an application?
Once you get, I think, beyond a certain point, I would
fill it out so snarky.
You're never gonna go broke. Jeff Bezos could do
I know,
whatever he wants, and it doesn't matter if everything fucking fails. He will never be broke.
I know,
again.
but people like that, like people who
money makes money. His money makes more money than the GDP of like small countries.
Yeah, but I'm still surprised that it's not a contentious divorce because people like that, even if they have all the money in the world, are still usually very like.
But doesn't he have a new girlfriend? I mean, like
stingy. Well, it's his. It's the wife of his like friend.
Yeah.
Shit.
Scandalous.
Yes.
Wow.
Yeah.
But I mean, good for her.
And maybe that's the reason why he
not the girlfriend, the wife
doesn't want to make it contentious or whatever, where he's just like, it's just bad PR. Just go away. Like, you know what I mean? Because not a lot of people are really talking about the fact that it is like his best friend's wife.
I mean, how much bad PR does that? I mean, bad PR, what's that going to do to Jeff Bezos? Like nothing.
Right.
Really?
Like people are not going to stop using Amazon.
Yeah.
Because they're upset that he's dating his friend's wife.
Yeah.
You know, like no one's going to care. Like you can get a subscription to fucking anything. I was talking to my coworker the other day about how her nephew has a subscription to Quest bars on Amazon and just has them delivered monthly.
On a regular.
Like
I have a coffee one.
You can get a subscription to literally anything on Amazon. Yeah. It's never going away. And if it was going to go away, if we were going to put it away for moral reasons, we would have done it already because it's a terrible corporation that treats its employees very badly.
Right.
But none of us can cut that cord because it's too convenient.
Yep.
Yeah. It's too convenient.
Yep. Well, let's fuck, marry, kill.
Oh yeah. But let's introduce ourselves first.
Yeah.
My worst date. I'm Cassie.
I'm Christina.
I'm Keegan.
So, Tiger Beat.
Oh.
I don't know why this came into my head the other day. I think I was just ruminating on
Well, Keegan's been sharing some old school pictures.
Oh,
so
maybe that's why.
Oh, yeah. My uncle sent me a photo album because I was just in New Mexico and he had he was going through, my grandpa just passed away and he was going through my grandpa's stuff and found a photo album that's mostly me and my brothers. Aww. And so he sent it to me in the mail.
And they are the cutest effing pictures you've ever seen.
You and your brother are fucking twinsies.
Oh, well, we're only 11 months apart.
You guys are so fucking
Irish twins.
Irish twins.
You guys look so much alike.
Yeah. I used to be able to trick people into believing we were twins because we
we're practically,
we looked a lot alike. But yeah, it does. Looking at pictures of myself at 12 years old, thinking about
Tiger
being 12 or whatever. I'm like, and it's funny because we're all of different ages or whatever who are Tiger Beat guys were. So
yeah,
I mean, mine was Devon Sawa. I fell in love with him after watching the movie. What is it called? Now and Then or something?
That was a good
movie. I think it was
that
Now
was
and
cute.
Then.
With Christina Ricci or whatever.
Yeah.
Gosh,
and
he paired up with Christina Ricci a couple times because he was with her in Casper too.
Oh, that's right.
When Casper became a person.
Yeah.
That's how I knew Devon Sawa. When Casper became a human, it was Devon Sawa.
I was in love with that guy. And I like that name, Devon.
And Sawa.
That was going to be my name if I was a boy.
Really?
Devon, yeah.
Mine would have been Preston.
Oh.
But I was like, Christina, you?
No, I'm I actually don't know what my boy name would have been.
Really?
I guess probably Patrick.
Christian?
Because that is your brother's name.
Well, it might have been. Yeah.
But yeah, Devon Sawa. Okay. Mine would have definitely have been Jonathan Taylor Thomas, 110%.
Yeah. He was so cute.
He was so cute. And he was in
Home Improvement.
Everything. He was in Home Improvement. I just thought he was the cutest. He's baby Simba's voice.
Wasn't he?
That's
he was in that movie Three Ninjas or whatever. Do you remember
was he in
that
I
movie?
do remember it. I don't remember if
I
he
don't
was
remember
in
them.
it.
Yeah,
he was in. Was he in? No, that was a different guy. In Jungle to Jungle, but I can't remember. Oh, he was in a Christmas one when he got a little bit older too. But yeah, I freaking loved JTT, so that would be my pick.
Okay.
My pick would have been Edward Furlong because when Terminator
T2.
came out, T2 came out.
He was cute.
He was so cute. I had the
cute.
biggest crush on that skater boy look.
Skater boy. I was just gonna say
he had that long.
He was edgier.
Yeah.
He was the edgier one.
Yeah.
So
Mr.
okay.
Wearing flannels.
Yes.
Yeah.
So, and he didn't do quite the same. He still had the 90s flopsy hair going on.
Yeah.
But Devon Sawa and JTT did a
more
middle.
straight edge.
They did a middle part.
Yes.
Edward Furlong did a side part.
Yeah.
That's how you knew he was
edgier.
Edgy.
Yeah.
That's how you knew he rode on the backs of motorcycles.
Yeah.
That's how you knew.
I like my Tiger Beats to have a little edge to
it.
Okay, so we're gonna 12-year-old us, fuck, marry, kill.
I think I got mine.
Jonathan Taylor Thomas, Devon Sawa, and Edward Furlong.
Okay, but let's do it this way. So let's do who to make it not weird. Let's do
who 12-year-old me would pick.
Us in 1990 whatever with these guys.
Yeah.
So us at that age, them at that age, and then let's do us now, them now.
Okay.
Yeah, everyone look up photos too.
Yeah. I don't even know. I don't know what Justin Taylor Thomas looks like now. I know Edward Furlong did not.
Excuse me, Jonathan.
What'd I say?
Justin.
Oh, did I?
I'm going to need you to get that right.
Oh, there's my phone. Okay.
Let's see. Jonathan Taylor Thomas. Oh, he's cute now.
Yeah.
Oh,
he's cute.
Ooh.
Let
me see.
Ooh, I like it. He's cute.
Oh, I'm down for that.
Dude,
yeah.
I know.
I'm down for that.
Listen, you don't have to tell me. I have recently Googled Jonathan Taylor Thomas now.
Well, no, you have not. You were like, I'm bored and it's Thursday. Let's see what JTT looks like now.
I know what 12-year-old me would say.
Okay, let's go with 12-year-old you first.
Okay.
So I would, of course, marry Edward Furlong. And we would live in a mansion, drive a Maserati, and my MASH.
Not a motorcycle?
No, my MASH.
Okay,
I'm doing my MASH thing. But then I would, I guess, fuck Jonathan Taylor Thomas and
kill Devon
Sawa.
Let's be honest, 13-year-old us, it's like snuggle Jonathan Taylor Thomas. Go to second base with Jonathan Taylor Thomas.
Something went wrong with me in between 12-year-old me and now me, because Devon Sawa is about as clean motherfucking cut as you get.
Yeah.
And if I met that guy, it's a no-go for me. We've talked about
hot,
it.
Though.
Well,
he's hot now.
He's hot now, but I'm still just like that whole like clean cut, like
good kid
kind of thing. It's amazing to me to look back and think, oh, that's who I was at 12. Like I was looking for the stand-up good kid, straight A, nice guy.
I'm
and
the
now I'm
opposite
just like,
now too, because I was more into the bad boys back then. But then when I was like ready to get married, I was like, I am not looking for a bad boy. I'm looking for the best guy. I just want the good guy, the guy who's not going to be a fucking dick.
Exactly. And now I'm like, bring on the unavailable fucking
Christina. No,
I know.
Slap your hand.
I'm like spraying you with a water bottle. No.
I need to get back to 12-year-old me.
Sprayed with a water
What
bottle.
happened? I had standards at 12.
Yeah.
What happened to Christina?
You're going through you're in a place where you're not looking for the one. You're looking for the tonight or the good day or the good dates. You're not in a. There's a difference.
Yeah.
And not that you were at 12 looking for the one, but
no. I don't know. I think 12-year-old me I think Disney tricked me forever into thinking I'm constantly looking for the one. Like that was
soulmate.
Yeah.
Well, I think
12-year-old you.
12-year-old me, I think would have I'm pretty sure I probably would have married Devon Sawa, fucked JTT, and killed Edward Furlong.
Okay.
At that age,
right,
like guys like Edward Furlong were like freaking
You were
out.
like, no. Interesting. Okay. Well, one of my mom's very favorite movies of all time is Terminator 2. So I watched it a lot.
Yeah, same.
I probably would have married Jonathan Taylor Thomas.
Mm-hmm.
I would have gone to second base. With Edward Furlong.
I would let him put his hand up my shirt.
Yeah,
totally.
with Edward Furlong. Because that's what you let a guy like that do. And then I would have killed Devon Sawa probably. Yeah.
Okay.
I know current me though.
Current me
is changed.
Current me has totally changed. Also, especially guys,
they've changed.
Yes, they've changed. So guys, look up pictures of these three dudes. Yes. We'll post them as well on our Instagram.
Yes.
But if you're listening and you're like wanting a frame of reference, do that.
Yeah.
It will be helpful to you.
Be illuminating. Sure.
And my new illumination, I am going to marry just Jonathan Taylor Thomas.
He also went to Harvard.
I'm fucking cute.
So down the
cute
clown
and super nerdy.
He's super nerdy.
Yes.
He's super.
Love it.
Yeah, he's super smart.
Love it.
He left acting to go to Harvard.
I'm in love with this.
Get an education.
This is all the yeses for me.
Yep.
Yes.
All the yeses.
We're all on the
We're
same
all
page with
gonna
Jonathan
marry
Taylor Thomas.
JTT.
And I think we're gonna all.
Can we get an adult tiger beat?
Yes. Okay, we'll
I think
Photoshop one.
I think we're probably all agreeing on fucking Devon Sawa too.
Oh God,
because
he's hot now.
I would fuck that.
He's hot
in a heartbeat.
Let's be honest, Edward Furlong took a nosedive.
Something happened to him along the way.
That bad boy behavior became too legit.
And let that be a lesson, Christina.
Yes, there you
let
go.
That be a lesson as to that's what motherfucking happened.
Yeah,
see,
it doesn't hold up.
It
if you
doesn't
had
hold
married
up.
Jonathan Taylor Thomas at 13, your future would have been bright.
Exactly.
So bright.
Exactly.
Oh wow.
Oh my God, I love that we're all on the same page.
So fucking hilarious.
Yes.
Yeah, Edward Furlong did not hold up.
He aged
very poorly.
It's just like Macaulay.
That's his decision.
Well, I think he went through. I think he did go through a drug phase where he got real skinny.
Yeah.
And then he went through another phase where he went the other direction.
Yeah.
But
now he kind of looks. The commercial we talked about that. I think
real rough. Like it just.
No, he did that commercial at
did he do a
Christmas,
commercial?
and he looked great.
Macaulay. I'm talking about Edward Furlong.
Oh,
yeah,
no. Yeah,
Macaulay
Macaulay
Culkin.
Culkin.
He looks fine now.
Macaulay's
I wouldn't
bounced
say
back.
I wouldn't
He
say
looks
he's
healthy.
He
at
looks
least
healthy,
which is
He
as much as
good.
we can say at this point.
Correct.
Yeah.
He looks good.
Macaulay has bounced
you
back.
You see, you wear your life on your face,
dude.
So
Edward
those
Furlong
drugs that you might be having fun on Friday night, just think. You're gonna wear that in 10 years.
Have you guys
and
heard?
It's not a good look on anybody.
Have you guys heard the Edward Furlong lobster story?
Oh no.
I
did. Yes, I did. I do know
Edward
this.
Furlong went through like a real serious PETA phase where he was like a hardcore PETA advocate.
Yeah,
and he got arrested. And his mugshot, you can find his mugshot online as well. His mugshot's not good. He went into like a high class like restaurant, like one of the ones that keeps lobsters in tanks where you can like pick your lobster, which is a
weird,
weird
by the way.
kind of sadistic.
I'm so glad. I don't think people do that. I don't think
it's very
places
weird.
do that anymore.
I don't want to see my food when it's alive.
No.
It's weird.
It's weird.
But he did go into one of those restaurants, and I don't know if he tipped the tank over or he like was pulling the lobsters out and like setting them free and being like, well, freedom, like Braveheart moment or something with lobsters. Because he was just like, you can't keep these lobsters in cages. So he like set these lobsters free, and then he got arrested.
Oh my god! Amazing.
Yes, there may have been
a very
drugs
Mickey
involved.
Rourke turn is what happened.
Oh god, Mickey Rourke was cute in the 80s.
Handsome in the 80s, and then it's like
something happened. Did you see there was a picture of Mickey Rourke now and Axl Rose now like sitting together at a thing, and they were like, why does this look like middle-aged women at brunch or something?
Oh God.
Yeah, it's bad.
It's
no
bad.
good.
It's
Neither
so
of those
bad.
guys held up. I was kind of into, when I was like in my 12, 13 kind of age group, tween group, I was really into heavy metal guys too.
Yeah.
Like I was big into like Sebastian Bach, like Guideliner and all that shit. I was like, what the fuck?
Well, you could have been on Rock of Love. Was that? No, that was Bret Michaels. Sorry.
Yeah, no, one of the girl. I actually know one of the girls that was on Rock of Love, and they're friends still. And she used to come into the salon all the time to get her haircut. She was actually a sister of a guy I went to school with. But yeah. Anyway, weird brag. Sorry,
You're like,
that was
brag.
weird. Yeah. I'm sorry. I don't know if you know. I know somebody who was on Rock of Love.
I have a
Weird flex, but okay.
I have a 7 degrees to Kevin Bacon moment with Rock of Love.
Oh my god. Oh, I miss those shows. I miss those shows
don't.
on VH1.
Oh
They
man,
were,
I used to
like,
watch them.
The fucking like Flavor of Love.
Oh,
There were like
gross.
3 seasons of Flavor of Love.
I know.
And you knew, like, you were just like, never has it been more clear that these women are on this show for like fame and money.
Oh,
because
God.
it's like Flavor
so
Flav is the
transparent.
ugliest man on earth.
He's
Like, if that's your thing,
pretty
sorry,
gross.
not to body shame.
I mean,
whatever.
He's not
but
the
like,
ugliest man on earth.
Sure. Okay. Fair.
I mean,
that is fair.
I'm gonna keep my hot take inside, but
I'll take that back.
But not
But
great.
not a good-looking man.
Not great.
And like the whole time he's like, I have 15 children with 9 different women.
You're
and
like,
we're
nah,
like,
I'm
great. And women are like, ooh, I can't wait to marry you.
Oh my
yeah, no
God.
thanks.
No thanks. No, I'm good.
But without that, we would have never gotten New York, you guys.
Mm-hmm.
Come on.
oh man,
My God.
That woman,
I haven't
I
thought
hated
about
her at the
that
time.
in a million years.
I hated her at the
For
time.
real.
Adult me is like, your hustle was on point, though.
Yep.
Yeah.
Like, this bitch knew what she was
take
doing.
it, take your money,
Dude.
take your money and run.
Yes.
Take it.
We can see like the trajectory of all that stuff because
She knew what she was doing.
that is all it is now is like hustle, hustle, hustle.
Right.
That's how you
Yeah.
hustle.
She made an
And
entire career out of before anyone did that. It's like she did that. She went on reality TV.
Yeah.
Mhm.
And she made an entire career out of being a villain.
Yeah.
Well,
It's
yeah.
genius.
Yeah,
So did
yeah.
Omarosa.
Yeah, that's
Survivor, the
Oh yeah, that's right. The guy, the Richard,
The one
Yes.
who won the
Who
first
was
time.
yes,
He's naked all the time.
Yep.
And Puck from
Yep.
Real
Real
World.
World.
Which Real World launched some pretty like
Road
interesting
rules.
Oh,
people too.
Yeah.
What was her name? Trishelle or Trish?
Oh, that's right.
Trish something.
Yes, I know what you're
Okay,
saying.
yeah.
You're talking about.
Another odd brag. My neighbor was on Real
Real
World,
World?
Paris.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh, she had to go to
No.
Paris.
Yeah.
Oh, hey.
Isn't that crazy?
Oh, that is
Which was
crazy.
honestly, if that was like one of the most boring seasons ever.
Nothing happened. No one wanted to
I
fuck
just feel
anybody.
Like it was like super fucking boring season. She even admits it too, so I'm not like saying anything that she doesn't know.
we
But yeah,
did-
isn't that funny?
Oh my
We just did an
God.
AMA Ask Me Anything episode for my other podcast, which is a feminism podcast. And one of the questions was like, I listened to this other podcast called Guilty Feminist where they at the beginning of the episode, they talk about something that they feel guilty about.
Yeah.
And mine was reality TV. Because I'm like, this is
I know.
legit trash.
I know, but I love it.
Absolutely trash.
But what's your favorite reality right now? Because I love $1 Million Listings, LA. And I love any Real Housewives. Well, not any. I love specifically Beverly Hills, Orange County. I have been
hate watching The Bachelor, but it's so boring. It's boring.
How many times have they said the word virgin? Because I heard you could make a drinking game out of that shit.
My God, we would be on the floor.
Yeah.
Are they all virgins?
No, the Bachelor is a virgin.
Oh, God.
Yes.
And they bring it up every 3 seconds.
He's the most boring Bachelor I've ever seen. And he cries all the time.
Oh, my God. Who wants to break a guy in? Ever.
Never.
No.
Thank you. I'm
never. Never, ever, ever, ever.
No.
I would not.
My coworker does. She's
wants to break in a
team
guy?
Colton. She's team that guy.
Oh.
I'm like, I'm not a fan.
Well, after last series with freaking Ari or whatever.
Oh, so boring. What? Milk toast. Him and Colton. Milk toast.
Yeah.
Boring. I'm bored.
But
I'm
bored talking
I have
about
been
it.
watching Return to Amish.
Turn
On TLC.
to Amish?
Oh no!
I've not heard of
Oh my
this.
God, it's a TLC show. It's not great either, except for that it's entertaining to
God.
see. It's just entertaining to see like what these people's personalities are like because they were raised Amish, and like so many of them, most of them on the show have like left.
Yeah, they were like, I'm rumspringing right out of here.
Yeah, exactly. I'm gonna rumspring on my waist.
Deuces.
I think living in Ohio, my access to actual Amish people is enough to not have to ever watch that. I'm going to share a shame receipt with you guys, but I had a multi-way with a girl who was Amish.
How was it?
Well, she was not obviously still.
No,
Amish,
but was it okay or was it? Still
it was very interesting, and 20-something-year-old me had a really great time at this little soiree. But yeah.
Now let me be clear. Do you want to keep that in because a 3-way with an Amish chick is pretty fucking funny. Oh,
she said multi-way. She did say multi-way.
I did.
That's fucking awesome. I want to hear more about this off the podcast. But
do you want to cut that?
It's pretty
up
fucking
to you.
funny.
It's up to you.
I mean, my mom and dad don't listen. I don't give a fuck.
That's my girl. Dude, I cannot wait to deep dive that.
I got the lady health.
Did you guys
I'm
ever
fine.
hear that your best nude lipstick color is the color of your areolas?
Okay.
No.
That's what I heard. Yeah,
everyone's looking.
We're all like, I could see
I
that.
think that would be a good lipstick color for me.
Yeah,
it's a
me
good
too.
lipstick shade. Yeah.
It's a little pinker than I would initially like, but you know.
Yeah,
pick,
mine's that would be a good lipstick
brown,
color.
a good like nude.
Yes, yeah. All right, well,
we're all over here like it's the funniest fucking thing ever.
Okay, well, we should definitely take 5 and look at our boobs off air, and then we'll be right back with stories.
I'm gonna get on Sephora. And we're back.
We are.
Hello.
Yeah.
So I'm first today because I am doing the Crazy in Love. So we got this message via our Facebook, which, by the way, guys, if you ever want to reach out to us with stories, we get stories submitted to us through email, through DMs on I almost said MySpace on Instagram.
Oh my God.
We do not have a MySpace page, but I kind of
Why
like
not?
we should.
Not totally opposed to
Yeah,
it.
not opposed to getting a MySpace page.
I tried to get my MySpace page back. Like I actually emailed MySpace support like 2 years ago. And they were like, no, they're like, nah, you like hard deleted that shit. They were like, you wanted it gone. And now I'm like, oh, but so funny. At the time I was like horrified.
Dude, I kind of want to check mine out. I know that I don't think I hard deleted it.
I
That'd
did,
be
and I
fucking
should not
interesting.
have. But
That's
anyway.
crazy. Anyway. So yes, you cannot send us stories through MySpace, but you can through Facebook and Instagram, and of course through our email, and also too because we have now our myworststatepodcast.com. You can also go through our
contact page there.
Contact page.
We have gotten submissions through our contact page. So go to myworststatepodcast.com because that's where we're going to be updating information about shows. You can, when we get merch, everything's going to be linked through there. You can also submit stories through there. So
everything's connected. We're all connected now.
Yes.
So this came to us through our Facebook page. And this says, "Hey girls, I just introduced your podcast to my niece as we were driving for 8.5 hours during a recent road trip."
Aww. I'm worried about your niece.
I know. Well, it depends on the age, you know.
Yeah. Oh God. Yeah. Right. I'm hoping this is an adult.
Yeah.
She said she thought it was hysterical. Now you have a new listener. Yay! Thank you. That's all that we can ever ask for is how that you guys
word
share.
Of mouth.
We so appreciate that. She said I remembered a short date story that I thought I'd share. I went on a first date with a guy and we went to World of Beer. Have you guys ever been to a World of Beer?
No. I've never even heard of it.
World of Beer is like a place that you go and they have like beers from like all over the world, right? So like Belgium or whatever, like you can find beer and they have like, I think like passports and stuff. It's kind of
Do you
cool,
get like your ticket
but
punched
it's all
or
very
something like that?
Beer. I don't really know.
Man, I can only consume so much beer. I went to the Burbank Beer Festival a couple of years ago and I was just like, listen, I got hammered.
Yeah.
Like hammered because that's what happens. But also I felt so like full and like,
bloated.
Yeah, I don't drink beer that much anymore because like it gets me sleepy drunk.
Oh God, yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
Yeah.
Where I'm just like, I just want to nap now.
It's
I
weird how different
myself wine drunk. It's my favorite. I'm so fun on wine.
Wine drunk, I'm a woo girl on wine.
Totally.
Woo!
Wine drunk makes me like so pretentious. I get really like, let me tell you how this is gonna go.
Where you mansplain?
Snooty.
I have a question for you.
Attitude.
Do you feel like white wine and red wine give you a different attitude? Because I can get more pretentious on red wine. I feel like it's something like I'm studious when you have like
absolutely.
Red wine.
That's exactly how I feel.
White wine is a little freer.
White wine is a little less snooty for sure. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Interesting.
Or sparkling is a woo girl.
Oh,
yeah.
Sparkling is full
or rosé.
on. Sparkling is hanging out of the limo. Fucking like woo. That's what champagne does to me.
Totally.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yes. Anyway, beer.
So anyway, sorry, World of Beer. He literally spent the whole time on his phone using the World of Beer app. Other than, "Hi, how are you? Nice to meet you." The only conversation being had was him talking about what beer he was going to try next and what rewards he would get. See, now that's levels. Like I didn't even realize that it was like to that level. But also, hi, you're on a date.
Like, you're on a date. Exactly.
You could have gone by yourself with your bros to do this.
I'm assuming it was his idea to go to World of Beers.
It seems likely at this point.
There's also something to be said about like taking your date, not taking their interests into account at all and just taking them somewhere you want to go.
Yeah.
And then ignoring them.
Yeah, it's kind of shitty.
She says, "I kept trying to gain his attention, but he would just kind of nod. I eventually got mad and grabbed the phone out of his hand and put it face down on the table, gently, by the way, and said, hello, on a date here." He gave me a huff and said something like, "Are you serious right now? I'm looking at beers from Amsterdam."
I'm sorry.
Was it Amsterdam? I'm sorry.
I didn't realize it was Amsterdam
beers.
My bad.
Okay. Well, then I will sit here submissive and silent until you deign to throw me some attention.
Yeah, throw me a bone.
Fucking asshole.
Get the fuck out of here. He immediately picked up his phone and went back to it. I just got up and left. No clue on how long it took him to notice I was gone.
Wow.
What a fucking piece of shit.
Amazing. Yeah, I've actually been lucky. I haven't been on that date where someone like gets on their phone during the date. I would consider that extremely rude.
It's so rude.
It's so rude.
And like you said, he probably picked the spot.
Yeah.
He's like all about this place and his Amsterdam beer. Like, ugh.
Well, and I don't socialize when I'm out with friends or whatever, like that's just it's rude to me. It's very rude.
Yeah.
And especially when you don't know somebody. So like you're already in a weird situation and then someone's just going to put the phone up like in front of their face.
Well, and the whole point of a date is to get to know someone. So what the fuck is the point?
Why even invite them out? It's strange.
You could have gone by yourself or with your bros if that's really, but even still, like, because would your friends be cool with that too?
Why
like,
put yourself out there though? Like that's the weird thing to me. And maybe it was anxiety. Maybe he put himself out there and then he was like, feel weird about this. So I'm just going to like bury my face in my phone. But it's weird to me that you would put yourself out there in a way to invite someone on a date and then not even get the payoff from that because you're like, you're buried in your phone. I don't know. It's a strange reaction. And also like if someone walked out on me on a date and they'd already made their like
point clear
by like grabbing your phone, putting it down. So you know why they walked out on you.
Yeah.
You should fucking call and apologize. Like what the fuck?
Yeah.
but he kind of seems like a
self-centered.
Dick, so,
yeah, he's self-centered.
Yeah. Having the self-realization to be like, oh, I did fuck up and like I should apologize is something that like an emotionally mature individual
right. This
would
sounds
come
like
to.
Someone who would have turned it back around on her and been like, what a bitch, am I right?
Right.
Yeah,
For,
he probably is writing us a story like, this lady took her phone out.
She walked out.
Well, speaking of guys that have stories about girls, that's my next one.
Oh, good.
Mine is too.
I found this dude on Reddit. And he says, it started off pretty normal. We matched on Tinder and we're talking for about a week. It was pretty dry conversation, but I understand some people just struggle having a conversation over text, but do just fine in person, so I didn't think too much about it. She asked if I wanted to go on a date the next week, and I say sure. That's when the red flags started to show.
Oh, no.
She started telling me how she's really nervous because she never gets second dates.
Ooh, that's a red flag.
That is a red flag.
Yeah. So my first thought is, like, is this something, like, with her confidence? Or, like, why is she telling me this? At this point, she's borderline guilt-tripping me into a second date before even going on the first one.
Oh.
Ooh.
Yeah.
He's a no.
That's weird.
That is weird.
That's desperation, too. It's like you can, like, smell the
that,
desperation on that.
Thursday.
Yeah.
So it's the day we agreed to meet up, and I rode my motorcycle into town, found parking, and ran to our agreed-upon meetup spot.
Motorcycle brag.
I know.
Oh, yeah.
Weird flex, but okay. I was running behind, so I just grabbed the first parking spot and ran the rest, which ended up being further than I thought.
Oh, shit.
So the plan for the date...
So I showed up wet.
I know. I'm like, and you met me. So the plan for the date was that we were going to walk around downtown, then go to dinner at a fancy restaurant, mostly picked there because I was itching for their food. When I get to the meetup spot, she was waiting for me and looked seriously underdressed for the occasion. She was wearing a hoodie.
Ooh.
I understand that might sound shallow, but I put a decent amount of effort to look my best.
Yeah.
And I thought she would make an effort.
Because it's usually the other way around.
It's usually the other way around.
Yeah.
I was like, it happens to boys, too.
Yeah, you remember the episode we did with Jayme when that guy showed up at the nude beach in, like, fucking flip-flops and, like...
Yeah.
Like a tank top or whatever. And I'm like, no, guys. Like, no. Put the bare minimum of effort.
And this guy did. He's like, I'm going to flex. I'm going to ride my motorcycle.
Take my motorcycle?
Yeah. I'm wearing dope new outfit. And she fucking showed up in a hoodie. And he's like, I'm going to take us to a fancy restaurant.
Yeah. How do you know? You know
do
you're going to a fancy
and
restaurant.
Also, like, I don't feel my most confident or sexy.
I
feel comfortable and I love hoodies.
I love a hoodie.
I love them.
I'm not knocking them. I would never wear one on a date.
Never wear one on a first date. Like,
especially if you spent like all this time texting beforehand. Like, no one ever goes on a second date with me. And it's like, well, maybe because you wear hoodies.
Yeah, you're trying to put your best foot forward, and a hoodie is no one's best foot.
No.
No one's
the
best
opposite
foot.
of your best foot forward.
Yeah.
Oh, God.
Here's where I started just laughing because it's so fucking random. So we're walking to the restaurant and she tells me about her theory that there is a professional dancer from Dancing with the Stars in town.
Oh, no.
As well as how her friend really wanted her to find that dancer and get a picture with him.
Okay.
Okay.
Honey, just own up to that shit at that point. And again, if you're going to meet a crush, put something else on.
Oh,
not
hoodie.
A hoodie. She had mentioned that she really liked the show, so I had a sneaking suspicion that her friend wasn't actually the one asking for the pic.
Right.
I asked her if she has any idea where you could be. She doesn't have an idea, but wants to look anyways.
What?
Fuck? So now he's on a date with someone in a hoodie looking for somebody from Dancing
You're
with
on
the
a
Stars.
like Dancing with the Stars scavenger hunt right now. Like, no, thank you. And I'm saying this as somebody who watches the show. I went to Dancing with the Stars live.
Oh, that's right.
I've seen them. Mm-hmm. Like, I went to a taping. Fucking, like, I like that show. I'm familiar with the dancers, and trust me, if I saw them in person, I would be like,
oh my God.
Oh my gosh.
Hopefully I'm not in a hoodie.
Hopefully I'm not in a hoodie. But if you're asking me to drive you all around town, fucking just
we just
for
met,
them,
and we're on a first date.
Scavenger hunt.
To find another dude. To find another dude.
Yeah.
No.
So I jokingly ask if I were a pro dancer on the show, where would I rank in her favorites list? She puts me dead last. And not with a flirty, sarcastic connotation either.
Oh, no. What a bitch.
Oh, my God.
Also, unrelated, every time we walk through an intersection, she would yell at the cars to run her over. Every intersection.
Oh.
He's like, that was just weird.
Oh,
okay, I have a question. When does it become acceptable to just leave? Speaking of like our last, just get up and
leave.
When does it become acceptable to just leave your date?
I think this is an acceptable spot.
Like, is this okay? Can you just leave her?
Can you just leave? I don't. This is so random because, like, we do get a lot of stories where you're just like, oh, my God, just fucking leave. But I don't know if it's social niceties. And it's good to see it's on the other side, too, with guys.
Right. Yeah.
Where it's like they also don't feel comfortable being like, you know what?
In fact, I bet they feel even less comfortable because, like, that's not what you're supposed to do. You're supposed to make sure a lady gets home safe. And, like, I understand all of that stuff. But also, like, man, to put yourself through that shit. I guess at this point, if you drove, turn around and take her home and be like, sorry, this isn't gonna work.
Right. Well, we have motorcycles, so
yeah. Sorry, I don't have an extra helmet. So they finally get to the restaurant and they get seated, and the waiter explains the concept of the restaurant. You get food for the table and everybody shares. So like, the guy orders the pork sliders, she orders the steak, which is the most expensive item on the menu.
In her hoodie.
And she keeps telling me about Dancing with the Stars until the sliders come out. When they get there, she doesn't take one. So I decide I'll just wait until the steak comes out to eat so as not to be rude. This guy's like so nice.
No shit.
Have you met my friend Christina?
Right.
But she got really weird about me waiting for food and kept asking me to eat. I dismiss it as not a big deal and try to change the subject, but
now
she keeps
wanted that
coming
steak to
back to it. Eventually, the waiter noticed she wasn't doing the whole sharing plates thing and asked him if I wanted to bump up the steak. And I'm like, yes. So once her steak comes out, she loudly exclaimed that she was definitely not sharing this.
Oh, my God.
Oh, my God. Which, so rude.
Which I knew she wasn't going to, but it still bothered me that she was so blunt about it.
Yes.
No shit.
We get the check and I paid. I expected to, so that was fine. My date didn't bother to pretend to want to split the check and or get the tip.
Oh.
And I always appreciate when people offer to split the check, even if they don't mean it. So at this point, the sun has gone down. It's getting cold. We're going to walk to buy dessert. I offer her my jacket because that's what you do, right?
Oh, my God, he's precious.
My God. The most precious. And she's like, no, but I want to go and find Dancing with the Stars guy.
Oh, my God. Leave her. We need to set like a societal norm that you can just leave somebody after a certain point.
Yeah.
Be like, you can Uber home. Bye.
Bye.
Well, he didn't drive her there.
No, they drove separately and then met
so
up.
He
so he literally
Yeah.
nopes out of this immediately.
He's too nice. It's clear he's too nice for that.
He's like the nicest.
Yeah.
So they're walking along the river and she starts telling me about her phone case. It is a custom-made case with a picture of her and the Dancing with the Stars guy.
Oh,
she keeps
no.
talking
Listen.
No way.
Christina,
I just kept laughing. It's so fucking random.
I need you to send him a follow-up email with which guy this was.
I know. I
Please,
need to know
because
too.
I need to know because like I know all of the Dancing with the Stars dancers. Like I know them.
This is fucking hilarious.
Like not personally, but I watch the show.
Who
so like
makes a fucking personal case?
Then
there's
more.
She tells me she has a matching blanket at home.
Get out. Get the fuck out.
I can't even.
This is why you don't get a second date, you weirdo.
Yes.
You shouldn't even get a full first
also,
date.
I'm concerned about this Dancing with the Stars guy. I mean,
I know. Are you safe?
Yeah.
Oh my God. At this point, we've been on this date for about 5 hours and I was ready to go home.
That's like a job.
I tell her I need to go and she says she'll drop me off at my motorcycle. I say, no, it's okay. But she insists.
Oh, no.
Keep in mind, she's still wearing my riding jacket, and I'm getting the impression she won't give it back unless I ride with her.
Oh.
So I go with it. Besides, I parked quite a distance away, and I didn't feel like walking anyways.
I'm nervous about this girl
I'm very
who
nervous.
says, run me over in the intersection to be driving.
Yeah, exactly. We get to her car, and she starts it. Then we just sit here.
No.
She starts nuzzling my neck and holding my upper arm.
No.
I do not reciprocate this affection because I don't feel the same way at all, and she picks up on that. But then she buries her face in her hands, exclaiming, I shouldn't look at her because she's ugly.
Oh, my God. That's just manipulative.
It is manipulative. So I'm just like, you know what? It happens on both sides of the aisle. You know what I mean? Because we're like cringing because I'm like, I've been a girl in that situation where I felt pressured and uncomfortable. But it happens to guys too. Oh my God. So she starts rummaging around the back of her car and grabs a water bottle and sticks it in her mouth. She dead ass started throating a water bottle.
What? Why? What?
Then body spray, which was really weird. She completes the trifecta of weird things to put in her mouth by putting her fist in her mouth.
Why? Okay, Cassie's gone.
What?
I know. She's like, he's in a car and he's like, can I just get my jacket? I will out of here.
Truly, at that point, it becomes a thing where you just need to ask that, or you just need to be like, I have to go. Can you give me my jacket? I need to leave right now.
I know. It's so bad.
And okay, here's the thing. And I understand it's easier said than done as a people pleaser. I'm a people pleaser. I understand it's easier said than done. But like men and women alike, if you get into this position, don't get in the car with this person. Because it would have been a lot easier if you had noped out before you got in the car. Yeah. Now it's a million times harder.
This is what he says next. He says, at this point, I started realizing I was more or less trapped in a car with someone I've just met. Date rape isn't something guys have to worry about, but it dawned on me that I was in a very high-risk situation.
Wow. Right. It might not be date rape necessarily, but you are in a car with somebody who clearly is unstable in some way.
Because if the tables were turned, I would be like, fuck, I am for sure not getting out of this.
Yeah. And it's always like, that's why I thought, I was like, oh my God, this is crazy. And then it takes a turn. And I was like, wow, there are guys that have those feelings too, that get in these situations that are just like,
well, it's a Glenn Close situation here.
No shit.
Or a straight crazy-eyed situation.
Then she leaned in for a kiss, and I told her I was sorry, but I wasn't ready for that kind of affection as I had just gotten out of a really serious relationship.
Ooh, good one.
And you just took your fucking fist out of your mouth.
Yeah.
Once everything is all said and done, we actually have been in her car for almost another 4 hours. And we still haven't moved.
Oh my God. I thought you were going to say an hour.
Yeah.
Listen,
4 is...
I think you leave your jacket at that point. I mean, truly. Like... I think
you buy another one. Yeah.
After an hour.
Oh, you coyote ugly yourself out of this. You chew your arm off to get out of this situation.
He finally decides to fake falling asleep so he could play the I need to get home ASAP card. Finally, she drives me to my motorcycle and gives me my jacket back. At this point,
you're 10 hours deep into this shit.
I know. At this point, it's been like 8 hours since our date started, and it was 34 degrees Fahrenheit and raining. I've never ridden my bike so fast, and I was worried she would follow me home.
Oh my God.
No.
Oh my God. I feel so bad for him.
That is fucking crazy.
Oh man, this poor guy.
But he made it out alive.
He did, but he was trying to be like so kind.
I know.
You know, like he was trying to be kind, and like that's what got him into that position. Because that's usually what happens to women. We're so nice. We're afraid of coming off as being rude. So we'll just say yes, yes, yes to everything. And like that's where that whole like fuck politeness thing comes in. Yeah. And it's the same thing for him in this situation. He really should have insisted on getting his...
Yeah, he should have said fuck politeness and got out there.
Because that's crazy.
Hours in a car?
Yeah, where she alternates between like crying about being ugly, trying to be physical with him, or deep throating random objects found in her car.
For 4
Oh.
What? Torture.
No.
Torture. There's not a drink big enough in the world.
With a stranger.
Oh, no.
But also, it does make me wonder, like, what the fuck is wrong with her? Like, something's really wrong. Like, she needs to get help because, wow.
The other thing, speaking of Reddit, that I found the other day is somebody did an AMA. It was a good friend of the 65,000 text chick.
No way.
Oh my God.
Yeah. No way.
I need to see that AMA.
Yeah, I'll send you guys the link to it. But yeah, she basically tells like the whole story. Like she's like a normal person that just stopped
had a manic
taking
episode.
Medicine.
Her medication.
Yeah.
I mean, it was very clear. So we'll try and find this and post it somewhere. But like
AIDS. Jacqueline AIDS is her name.
Yeah. It was a big thing, a big part of what got us
to do crazy
starting
and
to talk about like doing crazy and love stories was this woman, because they did something very unusual, I thought, which was have a press conference with
really
her.
Fucking weird.
Which they shouldn't have done.
It was terrible. It was exploitative. It was fucking terrible.
While we were all very entertained watching this woman talk, it was so clear that something was so totally wrong with her.
Yeah.
And exploitative is the exact right word.
No one should have put a camera in her face because it was very clear that she was off her meds or something.
Yeah.
Like
Yeah.
And it turns out that was the case. Okay. Alrighty. Well, on that note.
On that note, sorry to
fun.
bring it down. But
but
the
I
thing
think
that made me like crazy too, I was just like, who goes on a date and is like, we need to find this Dancing with the Stars
I
guy?
mean, I'm not
so
kidding,
random.
Christina. I need you to follow up with him on who that was.
I know, I will.
Please, because I need to know now. I need to know.
Oh my God.
Bananas.
But
my
also,
friend asked me to look for him, and also I have him on my phone case and I have a blanket.
Oh. You know,
no, sir.
That's the scary thing about fame. Like, if I was that Dancing with the Stars guy, I'd be like,
freaked the fuck out.
Super weird to think about, like, someone just being able to take your picture off the internet and
think
make a blanket
of the weird
out of
things that we get in our DMs anyways, and we're not famous.
That's true.
You know what I mean? So I'm just like, I can't even imagine what those people have to deal with.
Yeah,
because they do have to have a public persona and be out there. Like, honestly, if it wasn't for the podcast, I probably would pull myself off of social media entirely.
Yeah.
So there's enough like cons about it. But yeah, I can't even imagine what somebody with a little bit of fame, the kind of gross stuff that I get in my own inbox.
Yeah.
Let alone like.
Well, there used to be a show on MTV, speaking of like MTV shows, that was all about like being obsessed with a celebrity and like wanting to date them.
That's right. I think it was just called Obsessed, wasn't it?
I don't know, but there was one I remember specifically that was like Ashanti. Like, he fucking loved her. I was always looking for girls who looked like her to date, and like it was so strange. It was so
How would
strange.
you like to be that girlfriend?
Right.
No.
Yeah, it's fucked up.
Ugh.
Okay.
Gross.
All right. So this is also a Reddit story from a guy.
Yay.
And it says, it's our third date. She offered to make me dinner at her place. And okay, so 3 dates in, I'm like, all right.
Yeah.
Okay, I feel like you know someone well enough to be able to be like, that's all right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Acceptable.
After dinner, we were talking and cuddling on the couch. We disagreed over something somewhat political. Then she started insulting and berating me. Never okay.
Oh, no.
Okay, no.
Never
Like,
okay. As a person who politics matter to me a lot, I would never sink to that level with somebody. Like, you can have disagreements and just be like, you know what, I'm gonna go. Like, this isn't gonna work.
Yeah.
That's fine.
Seeing eye to eye on politics, though, is very important.
It's important.
You know,
I wouldn't date someone like that.
Yeah, exactly.
No, I would not date someone on the opposite side of the political spectrum, but you know, I would get up and leave if we couldn't have a respectful conversation about it.
Absolutely.
I eventually had enough and said, I am nowhere near emotionally invested enough in this relationship to fight this hard to make it work. And honestly, I don't have to take this from anyone.
Damn
for you.
right.
Good
That's
for you.
amazing.
So I grabbed my coat, and then when I went to open her front door, she straight up punched me in the face.
Oh my God.
How did you get that worked up? Punched in the face.
In the face.
So yeah.
What the fuck?
Dude, use your words like a big girl.
right.
Oh my God.
He's
Come
leaving.
on.
What the fuck is wrong with you?
Yeah. So yeah, I think that's enough dating for me for the year. And then he wrote an edit. Had a few people ask what the argument was, so I've copied to my other comment. I had mentioned how a few people have told me I kind of looked like Obama. She got unreasonably angry and said how much she hated him.
Oh, why would you go out with him?
Well, and also,
And why would you go on a date with somebody who clearly, it's not like you didn't see his picture? A third date.
You can hate someone's politics, right?
Yeah.
But you cannot objectively tell me that Obama is not a good-looking man.
Yeah,
He
he's
is.
good looking.
Hella
Like,
good looking.
He's a good-looking man. So
Him and Michelle.
Yeah.
I ship both of them.
power couple.
So hard.
But
Yeah.
I mean, Obama, like, he's hot. He's like the hottest president we've had in a
ever.
very long
Yes.
time.
A
Maybe
very long
ever.
time, ever.
Yeah, maybe ever.
Yeah, I never thought JFK was hot.
Oh,
Big
that's true.
teeth.
There you go.
Big teeth.
Yeah.
Um,
Weird accent.
Weird.
I don't
You don't
like
like
Boston.
I like the Boston accent. I can't even talk. I like that. I like that New England Boston.
That I like it.
I do. I'm here for it.
So yeah, she got unreasonably angry and said how much she hated him. Her reaction threw me off, so I decided to steer the conversation away from politics. She was too riled up by that point and said, I have a lot to learn and don't know anything about life. Is there anything more condescending?
No.
The most condescending.
Wow.
She's a bit older than me. Yeah, I bet. Because only people who are a bit older than you say that shit to you.
Oh,
right.
Totally.
Like, that's fucked up. And this was the third time in 3 dates she had said something like that to me. I had already told her, dude, I mean, I don't know if she had said it and then like let it go and he had like mentioned something to her. Okay. But like, if you're averaging 1 a date at this point, her saying something that fucking condescending to you.
Super condescending.
Someone posted something yesterday and I commented, I was like, ugh, I totally needed to hear that right now. It was like one of those like quote things. And it was like, the thing that bothers you or is a little bit of a red flag right now is what will lead to your breakup eventually. So like,
totally.
Yeah. That made me I was like, I totally need to, because I have a tendency to be like, man, like give them the benefit of the doubt.
Or maybe you could get used to it.
Or maybe I'm misinterpreting or blah, blah, blah. But I'm just like, no. If I don't like that way that you're careless with your glass or that you act like a rich stuck-up prick, like most likely that's going to be the thing that breaks us up eventually.
Yeah, totally. So. Yeah, because it's going to be something that was bothersome now in the early start of your relationship, but in the end of the relationship, it's going to be like, fuck you.
It's intolerable. And here's the thing. The older we get, it's like who we are doesn't really change.
No. I mean, you can grow and learn. Of course you can.
But you're who you are.
Yeah. You're a little hardwired in at some point. I mean, I would like to think that I will continue growing and changing as a person and like evolving and maturing, hopefully. But also, well, I mean,
we all will.
Also, I think I will be because I'm introspective enough to know that that's something I want.
But you cannot count on
other people doing that.
Because
a lot of people
well,
are
I don't like
that
now, but maybe I can grow or change you or whatever. Or you will. Nope, you cannot count on that.
If they're not introspective enough to look into themselves and like want to make changes, it's not going to happen ever.
Amen.
And he does say, I had already told her once that it's extraordinarily rude to say shit like that to someone. So I said it again, only this time I added, I don't have to take this from you or anyone for that matter.
No.
Yep, good for you. Then I put my jacket on and was halfway to the door and wham.
Oh my God.
Man.
Which also, you're so fucking mature that you
fucking punch someone in the
resorted
face?
to fisticuffs.
Yeah.
What a fucking...
Over something like this? Are you kidding me?
What a bitch.
He says, I'm not a doctor or anything, but I don't see how anything I said warrants that kind of behavior. It does not.
Because if the shoe was on the other foot,
oh God, you'd be in handcuffs.
Fucking 100%.
And she should be in handcuffs.
She should be.
You can't just be fucking punching
It is
people.
assault.
Like,
that is fucking...
Oh my God, we are like laying it down.
I know, we're here for the men.
Yeah.
This episode,
But you know what? It is both-sided. It really is. You can't fucking... You can't say with one hand... and you really... It is not one-sided. You can't... I always said this, with my son. It's the same thing. We give a lot of, like I said, if this was a woman who had been punched in the face by a guy,
which,
Jesus,
let's be clear, rightly so, because it happens more often to women. Domestic violence is definitely an issue that disproportionately affects women. However,
men
we don't
feel
talk
it's
about
okay
it.
to talk about it.
We
number
don't
one.
talk about it
and
enough.
Two, it's like becomes like a joke, so they don't feel like
sexual assault against men, physical assault against men. These are issues that happen. We don't talk about them. We don't,
and we got to support the people who are coming out about it, like Terry Crews and how he's gotten some major fucking flack.
Yeah,
we need to be supporting those people as hard and as viscerally as we are women that this happens to.
Absolutely.
Well, I mean, it goes hand in hand.
I do too.
It goes hand in hand with talking about the Gillette ad that we talked about.
I know.
We can only dismantle this idea of toxic masculinity, by talking about issues like this.
Absolutely.
So, he says, I think her anger might not have been so much about politics. She might just hate Obama because her ex-husband also kind of looks like him too.
Oh my God, girl has a type.
I'm like, bitch, this is on you then.
Yeah, bitch, you hate yourself.
But here's
Wants
the
to hate
thing.
fuck Obama.
I'm like, I still end up like going out on dates with like musicians with no jobs.
Oh.
But
I mean, you gotta type.
You gotta type.
I love you. I love you very much, Christina, but I will tell you that's on you.
That is on me. That is on me.
It
exactly.
Is. You know what's
I'm
bad
over
for
here
you.
sipping my white.
and same for this girl. I'm like, listen,
I'm like, if you don't like Obama, like you don't like Obama, then don't date Obama.
There's something about her that obviously does like him physically.
Correct.
She just doesn't like his policy, so she's like hate fucking this guy who like looks like Obama. But then she's like looking at him and being like, your foreign policy though, was so shitty.
Oh my God. That is amazing.
It's bananas.
That is insane. Like you can't, it's insane. Okay. Anyway.
I think there is, and actually this leads into the story I want to talk about tonight for Crazy in Love, which is that like we do a lot of victim shaming. And I think that there's a lot of that happening right now. And the case, and for a long time, and I was actually having a conversation with my husband earlier today because when I told him the story I was going to do, it's shocking to me that we do that. Like, what is it in our culture that feels as though we have to victim blame people?
Well, I think it's beyond just our culture. I think a lot of victim blaming comes from a place of you want to feel like it can never happen to you. You want to make yourself
want an excuse. So if it's like if just fucking fault, random, you know what I mean? Like that's more terrifying than like whatever you did, you caused this.
Yeah, because that's why we victim blame rape victims because we can say, well, I don't go out late at night or I don't wear short skirts or I don't get too drunk. So I won't.
That won't happen to me.
Correct. It makes us feel safer. But it's not true. Like it doesn't matter. There's no such thing as the perfect victim. It doesn't exist.
No, it's crazy. Which, and the Crazy in Love I'm going to do today is actually Jayme Closs.
Yes.
Oh my God.
Because I think super fucking topical.
Yes.
It's definitely a Crazy in Love.
Yes.
It is, or Crazy and Obsessed, or however you want to say it.
Correct.
But I also think it's topical enough that I know that all three of us have a lot. We've all been following this story,
right?
And we all have some input on it. And I think it's a great topic of discussion.
Yeah.
And it's not a super long one because what we know at this point is actually shockingly interesting. There's a lot actually already that's come out. I recently read, I've read multiple articles online, but also too, People Magazine just did a story on it. It's very interesting. It's, and it all starts,
and it's because like you hit the nail on the head. The speculations, that happened right after she was found,
blaming that happened to her.
The biggest thing, and I have to admit that I had it too. I was like, what happened?
Well, I think that's also coming from
not a blaming thing where I was just like, he had to have found her some way. Was she messaging him online? Was she?
I wasn't even going to say that.
A lot of people, I've heard a lot of that.
I was going to say that the fact that she was gone and both her parents were dead, a lot of that was like, what did she do?
Team up with your boyfriend? Oh, or even that.
I think that there's a lot of that because we are such a true crime obsessed culture,
totally.
That we watch every episode of Dateline and every episode of Snapped, and
I was like, that's what makes sense. Like,
come to those
what was the story you told about the Canadian
chick, who basically, her boyfriend. I mean, I think it's the same age gap, 13 and 21,
at 12. Yeah, she met a guy online at 12. That one was 12 and 23, but similar.
And there was the Asian girl who had killed both of her parents.
Jennifer Pan?
Yes, thank you. Mm-hmm. I mean,
it does happen. So
it does happen.
So,
and I guess, I see why people maybe, but it's like, before you go crazy on your speculations, let's get some facts first.
Especially because
the 13-year-old girl who just went through hell.
Exactly, who went through hell. And that hell started on October 15th of last year when somebody breaks into their home, kills her father and her mother, and she is kidnapped. And this all kind of came to a head recently because on January 10th, this woman, Jeannie Nutter, is out walking her dog, golden retriever, out in, a neighborhood. And this girl came up to her and she's like, I recognize her immediately. She's like, I recognize her because her picture's been everywhere. And the girl says, I'm Jayme, and is like, I need help. And they go knocking on doors and finally get to this house where they call the police.
And this woman was like a social worker too.
Yes.
Yeah, so she had the training to know what to do.
I've read interviews with her with what was going through her, because her house was actually, because she said she pointed out the house that she came from, and Jeannie's house was she felt too close to that and she wanted to go.
In
that's
an
why she didn't
direction,
take
back
her
into the neighborhood.
That's why she didn't take her to her own house to call the cops. She went further away to find a neighbor so that she would feel safe and around like more
God
people.
bless this woman.
Amazing.
For real. I mean, God bless this girl for getting out of the situation.
Well, even the like murder or whatever, like the Jayme's dog was barking.
So that's what happened.
Yeah.
Jayme gets woken up by her dog, looks out her window, sees a car is pulling up, goes to wake up her parents to let them know. He shot her dad through the front door. Then found her and her mom huddled together. Her mom was bear hugging her in a bathtub, shot her mom in the head, and took Jayme.
That's
gonna make
how
me
did they
cry.
meet? How did they find each other? I was shocked by this because I think a lot of people, again, were this speculation where you're like looking at like, well, did they know each other online?
On Facebook,
no,
on blah, blah, blah.
He literally was just following behind her in a school bus one day and saw her get on the bus and fixated on her from that fucking moment.
Wow.
Is that
So
the fucking
gross.
most bananas
And
thing?
that's why people want an easier explanation than that. Because
I know.
that you cannot protect yourself from that.
That's
you
right.
cannot protect yourself from that
to
at
say,
all.
What did she do? Did she go online?
Correct.
How can I protect my children by like putting on, blockers on the internet?
Yeah.
Like, can I
No.
protect my kids this way? You can't protect your kids from
being seen getting on a
being in
school bus?
public.
However, when the story goes on, and rest in peace, like her parents did not prepare her for a situation like this, but it's obvious that they gave her the tools that she needed to survive something like this and come out from the other side. So well done.
Yeah.
To those parents that raised a very strong, level-headed little girl that was able to survive something like this.
Well, and they said that she
can't prepare for it, but you
can't.
can teach your kid to survive and fight back.
And that's kind of one of the things that I read too in some of the articles was like, Jayme was described as very quiet, just like her mom, a little laid back, very quiet, but also a total badass. And that is the wording that was used. And I'm like, that's
awesome.
amazing. That is awesome. I can't even imagine. And so he kept her in their house under his twin bed mattress and barcaded her under the bed with barbells and like gym equipment.
Did he
basically.
have any? I know in the beginning there was speculation that he was related to her in some way. Is that not the case?
No, he ended up.
I don't
He
think
worked.
so.
He worked at the plant where her parents worked,
Okay.
but they never
Really?
interacted.
Oh, okay.
Oh.
Okay.
He
That
was
was
there
just-
for such a brief time. It was just coincidence. It's a small town,
Very small.
You know,
place.
so
see.
the
35,000 people or 3,500 people live in this town. It's
Tiny
small.
town.
So
I'm
yeah,
from a
but
town
it
of
literally,
3,000, so
literally is the most random thing. Like they said, they're not connected at all. He literally just
he
saw
just
her
obsessed.
getting.
He just
Can
got
you
obsessed.
imagine though? Like that's the thing. He sees her literally getting on a bus and is like, that she's going to be mine. Like it's fixated in his brain. Like that to me is like, it's, I mean, obviously this guy has got major mental issues. But the thing that is
it's
just
like
so
that
shocking about the story,
erotomania.
and the reason that I wanted to bring it up is because I just do think it's a very important topic that we talk about, victim shaming, things like this. Like you said, you cannot prepare yourself for it because how in the world do you prepare yourself for something so random? So
no, but you can empower yourself to know that you're strong and to know that you're capable and that you can survive. So this chick, for months had to live under a twin bed, but as soon as an opportunity came for her to escape, even months in which, Stockholm syndrome starts to set in, like all that stuff, she still had a fighter mentality.
She had the wherewithal to get herself out.
Yes.
And thank God.
Yeah.
Weren't there other people in the house?
That is something I didn't find in the articles, but I did hear.
That's what I'd heard, is that like he wasn't living in that house by himself.
Like,
correct.
Yeah.
Yeah. No,
Like,
there were.
his family was there too. Like his parents.
That's
were
what I had heard too.
Yeah.
And that's also what I was thinking as well. And they don't bring any of that up in the few articles that I was reading about it, but I also did hear that. So I can't even fucking imagine.
This poor girl, like, oh, it makes me want to cry right now just thinking about like your last memory of your mom.
Oh,
like being like you
are
holding
being
on
held.
to her. you know,
in her arms, and she is shot in the head. Yeah. I mean, that's the thing too. And thankfully she's had like an enormous outpour of support. Thank God. I mean, she's living now with her mother's sister, so her aunt, and they
never stopped looking for her, or knowing too. She was like that she's alive. And kudos to that town. That whole town treated it a whole time like a missing person. They did not treat it like a homicide. They legit kept looking for her.
Yes.
But if she hadn't had the bravery to do what she did, they would never have found her.
Never. And who knows how this could have ended otherwise?
This kind of random thing, like, is not something that people, like, how do you find that? You can't find it or track it.
Right. I mean, well, look at J.C. Dugard.
Yeah.
You know, where she was gone for 20 years. And like not saying anything about like she did what she needed to do
or
to
Elizabeth
survive.
Smart.
Or Elizabeth Smart, you know, like,
or those girls in Cleveland.
All of these girls do what they need to do to survive. But it could go such a different like number of ways.
Right. Absolutely.
You know.
I mean, absolutely. There's exactly that. It's a million ways that this outcome could have changed, and who knows.
Right.
And one of the girls, that's what they were saying, you know, like she seems to be thankfully doing very well, but there's it takes a long time, and you could still be in shock, honestly, for a month before it really hits you, like, because you're in such a survivor mode,
right?
And in, you know, like the PTSD of that, like what you would
survivor's guilt,
yes,
even knowing it's not your fault, but still thinking like if it weren't for me, my parents wouldn't have died. You know, like all of I don't know that you ever recover from that. Like I don't know that you ever like.
It's tough.
Get over that.
And her aunt has said that, you know, obviously there's therapy and things like that, and they are doing the right things to help her, and that is God. Thank God.
Yeah.
Thank God that they have, you know, this. She has a support system that, you know,
and it's not just her family, but there are a lot of people that have donated, like, to help in ways that they can. So she does have a support system, luckily, in place, because this case did, like, I mean, it was everywhere, and you hit the nail on the head where, like, everyone was speculating. It's like, oh, okay, like, this 13-year-old girl's missing, but her two parents are dead.
Like, was she involved?
Exactly. So it did snowball in that way because people were looking for the salacious angle.
Right. Yeah. And the thing that would make them the most safe. Well, like, I wouldn't raise my kid like that. My kid would never do this or that. And it's like, she did nothing.
No,
there was nothing you could have done.
You know now, like 100% that she was raised right.
And even if she was talking to a guy on the internet,
she still
doesn't deserve that.
Yeah, no,
it doesn't
exactly.
matter.
And there we go again. Yeah, absolutely. Because that also is victim blaming in a certain sense that, you know, that, because you were talking to some guy on the internet, you deserve to be fucking kidnapped. But you're right.
She's as close to the perfect victim, quote unquote, as we're going to get. Like, she literally did nothing to deserve this.
Zero.
But even if she had, like, by other people's standards, done something, nothing justifies what this person did to her and her family. Like, nothing does.
Yeah, like you said, people coming together though, and, you know, locally, and just doing so much. Local music star Chris Croce, he dedicated his November 19th performance on NBC's The Voice to Jayme, and performed at the school's vigil, where they raised more than $50,000 to help her rebuild her life. So even at that point where they're like, she's still alive, because that's November, they're like, she's still alive, and this $50,000 is going to go toward helping her rebuild herself.
Somebody said, like, because Jayme rescued herself, like, they were like, so should she get the $50,000 reward for, like, that's all it said was, like, somebody, like, posted that meme and was
got
like,
herself out of it.
Yeah, she did. She deserves that fucking money.
Fuck yeah, she does.
Yeah.
And how scary. I can't think of, not that, like, I want to necessarily put this out into the universe as, like, one of my greatest fears, but one of my greatest fears is like being taken and, like, locked away somewhere. Sure. And, like, I cannot imagine what it would take to get yourself out of that situation, because you'd be so fucking scared.
Yeah.
And you would know that if it failed, things are going to get a lot worse for you.
Yeah.
You know? So, God, so brave. So brave. At 13, fucking no way. There's no way I could have gotten myself out of that situation at 13.
Yeah. No.
You know?
The people pleaser.
I don't know. I was a pretty badass at 13. I probably...
You're a fighter.
Yeah, I am a fighter.
You are a fighter.
And
I'm a people pleaser where I just be like, if I stay quiet, like
and thankfully I've never been in a situation.
There are different tactics to survive.
Sure.
You know, there are different tactics to survive. There's the JC Dugard way of surviving, which is just like go along to get along until you can like
make your great escape.
You know, and that took 20 years for her. Yeah. You know?
Yeah.
So
I know it wasn't a long one, and I know it's kind of a short Crazy in Love, but I just wanted
very relevant.
To me, it was like more of this was like a more conversational, like than just me telling you a story about what happened. But I just think it's so interesting to kind of share that like conversation, because it is a conversation, and we do need to talk more about victim blaming, what that looks like, what is happening
for men as well,
and men as well, and very topical that we talked about those stories in the beginning of the, you know, and the submissions that we had today. So yeah, short but sweet. Yay. but interesting, very interesting. And then what we know so far is really
there will be information coming out for, you know, a while now, so we can continue to keep you guys updated on stuff that we learn, if it's relevant or interesting.
And as of right now, the charges that he's being charged with are obviously 2 murders, kidnapping, but there are no sexual assaults on this yet. So, and as of right now, there isn't any indication. He hasn't been charged with the sexual assault yet.
But they've also really not.
They don't know.
They've not really. They've given Jayme like space and time to heal and everything like that. So, you know, my fucking hope is like it was bad enough what she had to go through that I hope that that's not something else on top of it.
Me too.
But wow.
Yeah.
They
have asked him for DNA tests as well, though. So the police are investigating. So I don't know what they may have.
Poor baby.
That's just where it is. I know. Yeah. It's sad. Yeah. It's sad. And again, I know it's just so topical right now that the story
I'm glad you did
is
it.
in the.
Totally glad you did it. Yeah. It's a good thing to be talking about.
So we want to do a little palate cleanser.
Let's do a little palate cleanser.
A little palate cleanser. We were talking about the difference between White Claws, Henry's, and Tito's, or not Tito's, Truly's.
Yeah, which are all sparkling hard seltzers. Wow,
I know.
We've had too many of them.
We've had quite a few since we started,
and not enough lunch.
But I feel like this is a good like public service announcement, and we're all on the same page. If we had to fuck, marry, kill,
good one.
Okay.
I like this.
Claw,
that's good.
Henry's, and Truly's. We're all on the same page.
Yes.
Yeah, we're gonna marry White Claw.
We're marrying White Claw.
Yeah,
because they are just
best.
They're perfect.
They're good.
They got everything I need.
Great amount of flavor. Nice little buzz kicks in.
Yep.
We're gonna fuck Truly's.
Truly's are the unassuming, right?
Yeah.
You know, they're like
it's gonna be a boring fuck.
It is.
It is. But it's going to be sweet. You know what I mean? Like, that's
soft.
What, like, soft, not sweet.
Oh, yeah. It's a gentle make love.
I hate the term make love. Okay, this is making it sound very bad. Truly's are not bad. Truly's are good.
They're good. They're good
subtle,
for one night.
Yeah, it's like if you had to.
They don't have enough bang for your buck. You know what I mean? Where it's just like, they're just kind of a little bland.
They're
and you're like,
nice.
It's fine. You're nice.
If you need some companionship, you go for a Truly, right? If you want to go through life with somebody, you go with a White Claw.
With a White Claw. That's steady.
Yeah, that's a steady relation.
Yeah.
Henry's.
We're gonna have to kill it.
Yeah, we're gonna have to kill it.
It's the aftertaste, and you know what it is to me too that I've kind of noticed on the ones I've tried. It's that it's got this weird aftertaste, but it kind of doesn't taste fruity as much as it tastes chemically sweetened.
Yes, or like, and it's very tart. And I'm for a tart, but it's like a chemical tart. It's not like a fresh squeezed lemon.
No,
you know what I mean?
Yeah.
I mean, again, in a pinch, I will drink a Henry.
I mean, it's all we got.
I will drink.
Fine, I'll suck it down.
But this is your guide to hard seltzer from My Worst Date, from us at My Worst Date.
Yeah, we'll use that as a palate cleanser. So there you go.
A literal palate cleanser.
If you want to contribute to our White Claw fund, though, please check out our Patreon page. We would love that. We've actually just uploaded a couple great. We had a great interview with Hyperbole. I was in Arizona, and it was a fun. He shares his worst date on it is fucking hilarious. It's a good one, you guys. So check that out for sure. We appreciate you guys so much hanging out with us. Please share it with your friends. Thank you, everyone.
And we'll see
you can get us if you need to send us if you need to send us your worst date stories, or if you even have like crazy in love suggestions, you just want to reach out and chat, that's also fine. You can email us directly at myworstdatepodcast@gmail.com. You can also find everything you need, which means our Patreon, links to our show, which is coming up very soon, or a contact page. You can find all of that on our website, which is myworstdatepodcast.com.
Thank you guys so much for listening, and we'll see you next time.
Cheers.
This is a Glass Box Media Podcast.